I don't want to hear anything.
Daniel, I have watched my mom fight for her life. I have watched bills pile up so high that we had to choose between groceries and hospital visits. I know what it's like to cry out to God and feel like He is giving you the silent treatment.
And? What changed?
I realized that sometimes we are looking for the miracle in the wrong place. We want fireworks, but sometimes God moves in whispers.
I don't need a whisper. I need my daughter to be okay.
And maybe the first step to that is believing that she will be.
You think faith fixes everything?
I think faith makes room for the impossible.
That's poetic. But faith doesn't pay my daughter's medical bills. Faith doesn't put food on the table. Faith doesn't heal a sick child.
Maybe not in the way you expect. But what if faith is the thing that keeps you from breaking apart? What if it's what gives Ava hope when she sees you holding on?
I'm tired of holding on.
Then lean on God, on people who care about you. But don't let go now.
You know what is ironic? My grandmother used to say the same thing. That faith isn't about proof, it's about trust. She used to tell me that the Red Sea didn't part before Moses stepped forward, it parted as he walked. But what if I step forward and nothing happens?
Then you keep stepping.
Dad, stop looking at me like that.
Like what?
Like you are waiting for me to disappear.
Ava, don't say that.
Well, that's how you look. And honestly, it's making me nervous.
I don't know what else to do. I have prayed. I have begged. I have done everything I can think of, and you are still like this.
Maybe I'm supposed to be.
No. No way. God isn't just watching this happen. He wouldn't do that to you.
Then why isn't He stopping it?
I don't know. But He has to.
What if He doesn't?
Ava.
No, really. What if He doesn't? What if this is how it is? Can you still trust Him?
Why are you talking like this?
Because I need to know if you still believe when things don't go your way.
Ava, please.
I'm serious. I don't want you falling apart if this gets worse. I need you to hold on.
That's not fair.
Neither is this.
You should rest.
I rest all the time. It's boring.
You need to rest.
And you need to stop acting like it's the end of the world.
Ava, you don't understand.
I do. I know I'm getting worse. I feel it. I can tell when you are whispering outside my room, when the doctors are talking in circles, when you think I'm asleep, but I hear you praying. You think I don't know what's happening to me?
Then you know why I can't just stand here and pretend I'm okay with it.
I'm not asking you to be okay with it. I'm asking you to believe that God still knows what He is doing.
How can you be so calm about this?
I'm not calm. I'm just choosing to believe that He has not abandoned us.
It doesn't feel like that.
Then believe it anyway. I know you want to fix this, but Dad, maybe this isn't something you can fix.
So what am I supposed to do?
Trust. Even when it's hard.
You sound like your grandmother.
She was a wise woman.
The bills are piling up. I'm out of options. I don't know how much longer we can do this.
We are going to be okay.
How can you say that?
Because I trust Him. And because I know you are not going to give up on me.
I won't. I promise. Every morning, I wake up hoping today will be different. That maybe Ava will wake up stronger. That maybe the doctors will finally have an answer. That maybe, just maybe, God will actually show up. And every day, it's the same. No answers. No improvement. No miracle.
So what now? You just sit and wait for things to get worse?
What do you want me to do?
Fight.
I am fighting.
No, you are surviving. There is a difference.
Look, if you have got a better idea, I'm listening.
Actually, I do. There is a revival happening at New Life Church tomorrow night. Pastor Gideon is leading it.
And?
And I want you to come with me.
Ethan.
Before you say no, just hear me out. Pastor Gideon is not just some preacher who throws around fancy words that people want to hear. I have seen people healed, and their faith strengthened by being taught the Word of God as Christ did. I have heard testimonies I can't explain.
And what? You think if I show up, everything will magically get better?
I think if you show up, you are at least giving God the space to move.
Giving God the space to move? Right. Because apparently, the Almighty needs an invitation.
That is not what I mean. And you know it.
Look, I appreciate what you are trying to do, but I don't think a revival service is the answer.
What is the answer then? Because from where I'm standing, you don't have one.
You think this is easy for me? Watching Ava get worse every single day? Watching bills stack up? Watching doctors shrug like they have never been to medical school?
No, I don't think it's easy. But I also don't think you can afford to keep doing nothing.
I am doing something. I have prayed. I have fasted. I have cried out to God so much. I don't even have the words anymore. And He is silent. So forgive me if I don't think sitting in a church service is going to change anything.
Maybe the problem isn't that God is silent. Maybe you are just too angry to hear Him.
It's not that simple.
I know it's not. But neither is faith. I get you feel like God isn't showing up. But what if this is Him showing up? What if this is the moment He has been leading you to? What if that service is exactly where you need to be?
Okay, one night.
One night.
And if nothing changes?
Then at least you will know you didn't close the door on God before He had a chance to walk through it.
I can't believe I'm doing this. There could be someone here tonight. Maybe you came because someone convinced you to, but deep down, you are not sure why you are even here. You have been struggling to hold on, struggling to believe, struggling to keep praying when everything inside you says it's useless. You are tired. You have asked God why He has not answered. Why the silence? Why the delay? And now, you are at the point where you are wondering if He is even listening at all. My friend, I don't know you, but I know this. God has not forgotten you. He has seen every tear, heard every desperate prayer. And tonight, He is calling you forward.
That's you.
Don't start.
I'm just saying.
It's a coincidence.
Right. Because out of all the people in this church, He just happened to describe you?
I don't know. Maybe someone else here is going through something similar.
Maybe. Or maybe this is exactly what it sounds like, God talking to you.
If it is, then why now? Why not all those other nights I was praying? When Ava was in pain, when the doctors had no answers? If God wanted to talk to me, He had plenty of chances.
And maybe this is His answer. Maybe He was working all along, and you just couldn't see it.
Ethan, you don't get it. I have been begging God to heal her. I have prayed, I have fasted, I have believed. And nothing. Not a single sign that anything is changing. Do you know what it's like to watch your child suffer, knowing you can't do a thing about it? To have doctors shrug like it's out of their hands? To have people tell you to just have faith, when you have already done everything you know how to do?
And yet, you are here.
Because I ran out of options.
Maybe this is the only option that ever mattered.
What do you need from God? My daughter. She is sick. Doctors don't know why. She is getting worse. I have prayed. I have done everything I know how to do, but it's like nothing is changing. It's like God isn't listening. You say nothing is changing. But what if the change has already begun? Then where's it? Why hasn't she gotten better? Why am I still drowning in medical bills? Why do I feel like I'm talking to an empty sky every time I pray? Because faith isn't about seeing first. It's about believing before you see. I want to believe. But it's hard. And yet, you came forward. That means there's still something in you holding on. Even if it's just a thread, God can work with that. Lord, you know this man. You know his pain, his exhaustion, his questions. You see the weight he carries, the fear that grips his heart. But you are still the God who heals, the God who restores, the God who makes a way where there is none. Right now, in Jesus' name, we declare healing over his daughter. What medicine cannot explain, you have already touched. What doctors cannot diagnose, you have already begun to restore. And we declare this over this man as well. May his heart be strengthened, may his faith be renewed, may his hope be anchored in the truth that you are working, even when he cannot see it. Believe that God has already begun the work.
You okay?
I don't know.
Are you going to believe?
Believe what exactly? That some words spoken over me are enough to change everything? That after months of watching Ava waste away, after endless hospital visits, and bills stacking up, one prayer is all it takes to fix everything?
It's not about the prayer, Daniel. It's about who we pray to.
And what if nothing changes? What if I get home and she is the same?
Then you hold on.
Hold on to what?
May God help your unbelief, son. You are looking for proof, aren't you? A sign. Something to tell you this wasn't just another empty promise.
Wouldn't you?
I did. A long time ago. My husband was dying. Cancer. The doctors had given up. Said it was only a matter of time. I prayed, just like you have. I begged God. And I will be honest with you, I didn't feel anything different. No warm feeling. No sudden change. Just the same cold hospital room, the same beeping monitors. But God doesn't work on our timelines.
So what happened?
I believed, even when it didn't make sense. Even when my husband still looked just as sick. And one day, we went back for his routine scans, and the doctors couldn't explain it. The cancer was gone. No treatment, no medicine. Just gone.
Just like that?
Just like that. But the real miracle wasn't just the healing. It was what happened inside me. See, faith isn't proven in the moments when everything is perfect. It's proven in the waiting. In the moments where it looks like nothing is happening, but you trust anyway.
What if I don't have that kind of faith?
Then ask God to give it to you. That's the beauty of it, son. Faith isn't something we have to manufacture, it's something He gives us when we ask.
I don't know.
Go home. Love your daughter. Speak life over her. Walk by faith, not by sight.
Ava? You awake?
I never really sleep much these days, just drift in and out. But yes, I'm here.
How are you feeling?
You mean besides the exhaustion, the headaches, and the fact that my body feels like it's made of lead?
Ava.
I'm okay, Dad.
Okay. Ava, you have been lying here for months. Every test comes back with nothing. Every doctor shrugs. Every prayer.
Is still working.
Working? Ava, look at you. You can barely sit up. You can't even.
I can still hope.
Hope?
Yes. Hope. That thing that isn't tied to what we see, or what we feel, or how bad today looks. Hope that refuses to shrink just because reality doesn't match up with it yet.
Ava, I know you want to be strong, but...
No, Dad, listen to me. I know what's happening to me. I know how bad it looks. I know you stay up at night thinking I don't see you watching me, listening to me breathe, trying to hold on to something, anything, that tells you I'm going to be okay.
Ava.
But here's what I need you to understand. I may be weak, but my faith isn't. My body is tired, but my soul is standing. You think I'm brave because I smile through this, because I don't cry in front of you? Dad, I'm not brave. I'm just choosing to believe in something bigger than my sickness.
But what if?
What if what? What if I get worse? What if I don't wake up tomorrow? What if the miracle never comes?
Yes.
Then God is still good.
Ava, how can you say that?
Because I know Him. And I know that just because I don't see the miracle, doesn't mean it isn't happening.
But...
You know, I was thinking today about that story, the one about the nobleman's son.
The one in the Bible?
Yes. His father ran to Jesus, begged Him to come, and Jesus just said, "Go. Your son lives."
I remember.
That man had to walk all the way home without seeing the proof. Without knowing. Without anything except Jesus' word.
That must have been hard.
Yes, but Dad. He walked. He didn't stay where he was, demanding a sign. He didn't argue or beg for something visible. He just took that step, even though he had no idea what was ahead.
Ava, I don't know if I can do that.
I'm telling you, Dad, this story isn't over. I can feel it.
You really believe that? Even now? Even with everything?
Especially now.
You are stronger than me.
No, Dad. I just know who is holding me up. And He is holding you too, even if you don't feel it yet. Daniel, I'm just going to say it, this isn't working.
What isn't?
This. Sitting around, believing. Watching our niece get worse while you do nothing.
Nothing. I have taken her to every doctor, every specialist. And what has changed? She is still sick.
She is worse, Daniel.
And you think I don't know that?
Then act like it. Stop putting your faith in things you can't see, and start looking for real answers.
Real answers? What do you think I have been doing since Ava got sick? What do you think I'm supposed to do? Find some secret cure no one else has thought of.
You could at least try something new. But no, you are running to churches, having pastors pray for you, like that's going to fix everything.
I don't expect you to understand.
No, I don't understand. Because while you were out chasing miracles, Ava is lying in the bed getting weaker.
I have lived long enough to know that faith is a fine thing, but faith doesn't change things. I think you don't want to face reality. Reality? Reality is that I have done everything. I have drained my savings. I have sat in hospital rooms, listening to doctors say they don't know what is wrong. I have watched my daughter's body betray her, while I stand there, powerless. You think I don't know reality?
Then stop pretending a prayer is going to change it.
You were not there.
Where?
At the church.
No, I was not. Because I don't believe in giving people false hope.
That's the thing, Angela. It didn't feel false.
What are you saying?
I don't know. But when that pastor looked me in the eye and told me to go home believing, something in me wanted to believe him.
So now you are just going to sit around and wait for something to magically happen?
I don't know what else to do. I will tell you what you should do. Sell that shop of yours, move Ava somewhere she can get better care. Better care? What better care? No one even knows what is wrong with her.
So you are just going to keep praying while she fades away?
And what if prayer is all I have left?
That's not fair.
No, what's not fair is sitting here, being treated like I have given up, when I'm fighting with everything I have. Faith doesn't get your daughter out of that bed. Sometimes, faith is the only thing keeping me from falling apart.
Daniel.
I'm not asking you to understand. I'm asking you to let me fight for my daughter the way I know how.
And what if it doesn't work?
Then at least I will know I didn't stop believing, before the miracle had a chance to happen. Is this the kind of faith God wants? Watching everything fall apart and pretending it's fine? Feeling like my prayers are hitting a wall? Am I supposed to just stand here and believe while my daughter fades away? While I lose everything? While people look at me like I'm a fool? Hello? Daniel? It's Carl Whitman. Carl? Why are you calling me? I need someone I can trust, Daniel. I just expanded my company, and I have got a management position open. Full benefits, good pay. I know things have been rough for you, and I wanted to reach out first before I start looking elsewhere. You are offering me a job? Yes. I know you are good at what you do. Always have been. And honestly, I could use someone with your work ethic. So what do you say? I appreciate it, Carl. I do. But I don't know. What is there to know? You need work, I need someone I trust. Sounds like a perfect match to me. It's complicated. All right. So tell me, what's holding you back? My daughter is sick, Carl. Really sick. The doctors don't even know what is wrong with her. I have been praying, believing for a miracle. But nothing is changing. I have no one I can leave her with. I had no idea, Daniel. I'm sorry. It's well. I don't claim to know much about faith. But what if this job, this opportunity, is part of your answer? You are drowning, Daniel. Let me throw you a rope. I need to think about it. Okay. But don't take too long, all right? This door won't stay open forever. I will wait for your call. God. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm trying. I really am. But I'm tired. And I don't know if I have anything left.
Dad?
Ava?
I'm thirsty.
Take. How do you feel?
Better.
Are you sure? No dizziness? No pain?
Dad, let me sleep.
How is this possible? The infection is gone. There is no sign of it. It's like it was never there.
That's not possible.
Medically? No. But the scans, the blood work, every indicator that told us something was wrong before? They're all normal now.
3 days ago, you told me Ava was declining. That we needed to prepare for the worst. Now you are saying she is fine?
I'm saying she is recovering, faster than anything I have ever seen.
But how?
That's what we don't know. There is no medical intervention that can explain this turnaround. She was on the brink, and now she is healing. Do you believe this is an act of God? What did you give her?
She only asked me water yesterday, after drinking. She said she felt better and slept. I don't know. I doubted, I questioned, I was ready to give up. But God was already moving before I even saw it.
Faith is a strange thing. You mean God can use just water to heal?
He works in ways humans can't understand. I walked into that church barely holding on, not sure if God even cared. But he heard. And he answered.
Whatever this is, it's not something I can put in a medical journal.
He really did it. He has done it for me. I almost lost you.
But you didn't.
No, I didn't. And not because of anything I did. I fought, I worried, I ran myself into the ground trying to figure things out, but none of it made a difference.
Dad, you never stopped trying. That counts for something.
Trying wasn't enough. Do you know how many nights I stayed up, just staring at the ceiling, wondering why God wasn't listening? Why every prayer felt like it hit a wall? I thought if I just prayed harder, if I just held on a little tighter, I could force him to move.
But that is not how faith works, is it?
No, it's not. Faith isn't about wrestling with God until he gives you what you want. It's about trusting him even when it looks like nothing is happening.
And I think deep down, you knew that. You were just scared.
Scared doesn't even begin to cover it. I was terrified. Every day, I watched you get weaker. Every day, the doctors had nothing new to offer, except more bad news. And every day, I asked myself the same question, what if God doesn't show up?
But he did.
And that's what's so incredible. He was already moving Ava. I just couldn't see it. I was so consumed by what I thought he wasn't doing, that I didn't realize he had never stopped working.
Like that night at church.
Yes. That night. The pastor looked straight at me and said, "Go home. Believe that God has already begun the work." I didn't know what to do with those words. I wanted to believe them, but everything in me fought against it. How could I go home and believe when you were still sick? When nothing had changed? But something had changed. It wasn't you, it was me. The moment I walked out of that church, something inside me started shifting. I just didn't recognize it yet.
Because faith doesn't start with what we see. It starts with what we choose to believe.
You really are too wise for a teenager, you know that?
I had a good teacher.
No. You had a faithful God.
And so did you.
Yes. So did I.
So, how does it feel? Watching Ava heal, seeing God answer prayers in real time?
It's humbling. I spent so much time wrestling with doubt, demanding proof, waiting for some grand moment of confirmation. And the whole time, God was already at work.
Funny how that happens. We panic, we question, we think he has forgotten us. But he has never stopped moving.
I see that now. And not just with Ava. Looking back, I realized God wasn't just healing her, he was working on me too. Changing the way I see him, see faith, see everything.
You were kind of a mess back then.
Oh, I was a disaster. My business was failing, Ava was slipping away, and I was this close to walking away from it all. If you had told me then that I would be standing here now, testifying about God's faithfulness, I would have called you crazy.
And yet, here you are.
Here I am. And I can't keep quiet about it. People need to know. Faith isn't just about getting what we ask for. It's about trusting even when it looks like nothing is happening.
Because something always is.
Exactly. You know, I met a guy at the hospital the other day. His son is in a critical condition. He told me he doesn't pray anymore, because in his words, what is the point?
Sounds familiar.
Too familiar. I saw myself in him. The exhaustion, the anger, the quiet resignation. I told him, I get it. I was there. But I'm telling you, God is closer than you think. He is working, even when you don't see it.
What did he say?
He didn't say much. Just nodded. But I saw something shift in his eyes. Maybe it was just a flicker, but I know that look. I had that look. That moment when you want to believe, but you don't know if you can.
And what do you do with that moment?
You take the first step, even if it's shaky. You go home, believing God has already begun the work.
That sounds like something a certain pastor once told you.
It does, doesn't it? A few months ago, I was the guy barely holding on, questioning everything. Now, I want to help people hold on.
That is what God was preparing you in the silence.
I am thinking, if I can help just one person see what I almost missed, then maybe all the struggle, all the waiting, Maybe it was never just about me and Eva. Well, that was the official offer. Looks like I'm starting at the new job on Monday.
Dad, that's amazing. Are you excited?
Excited. And grateful. Honestly, I was so caught up in God not answering my prayers, I didn't see how God was piecing things together.
Sometimes He lets things break, just so we can see that He is the only one who can truly hold them together.
You sound like you have lived 100 years of wisdom.
Hey, being stuck in bed for months gives you a lot of time to think.
How are you feeling? Really?
I feel new. Stronger, not just in my body, but in my heart. I used to wonder if God heard us. But now, I know He was listening the whole time. Even when it felt like nothing was changing.
Yes. I see that now. You never lost faith, even when I did.
I just held on to what I knew was true. I think sometimes, we expect to see God in the big, obvious miracles. But a lot of times, He is moving in the quiet, in the waiting. We just have to trust.
Faith isn't about waiting to see before we believe. It's believing that He is already working,